Yeah, it looks like we got 6 people. So Jason, what are you thinking for a tournament format? Because that's a lot for round robin. So we might have to do like a double elimination, something like that. I'm not sure. It's up to Jason at this point. He knows better than I do. Looks like we're doing some last calls to see who we can get in here. Looks like we got Warks as well. I mean, we could do single elimination. That's always fine, as long as we have some kind of format. Yeah, because I think 6 is a lot for round robin. Now that players are getting better, so we go to a lot of third rounds with our matchups. So that kind of pushes out the tournament. I know 6 is not ideal for knockout. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could do round robin with best of 1. That's probably fine. Is it sad that I don't even know what Swiss format is? I've heard of it before. I've probably been part of a tournament with Swiss. The way that we do tournaments, we have a bot that programs stuff in and generates all of these matches and stuff. So for any kind of like quote new format that we don't have already programmed in, we can't really do it like on the fly. So we would have to program that one in, but we will keep that one in mind. Excuse me while I quickly Google Swiss tournament format. Because it feels like one of those things that I should know, but I've just never had to look it up. I just want a picture. I don't want to. I'm like bring it up like the Google or the Wikipedia page. If someone wants to have a very concise summary of Swiss, feel free to drop it in the chat. Oh, do they do this in chess? I'm curious, because I'm reading like the first couple of lines here, and it sounds similar to how chess kind of works sometimes. Oh, yeah. Last line. Swiss systems are commonly used in chess, Go, Bridge, and Scrabble. I don't know about Scrabble, but I also don't know. I'm not very good at chess. But anyway, round robin, but you get matched up against someone who has the same win rate. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's like a bridged round robin, essentially. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Jason, however you want to set this up. Is that something that the bot can handle here, or will we have to manually set this up? Okay, yeah. Wait, which one are you talking about? The skipping the battle or the Swiss? Because I don't think you're talking about Swiss right now. I just want to make sure. Yeah, because I believe the last one we just did like an ad hoc battle at some point because we had like we had one issue with a bug at some point, but we can definitely keep track of different stuff in terms of like one less battle or stuff like that. Oh, skipping mode. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's cool. If you can make it work, that's fine. I just don't want to have people here for like 3.5 hours in a round robin thing. It's a little bit too long. A little bit too long. And I do like the best of 3 stuff. So because it allows people to get used to your opponent's strategies and kind of like counterpick and stuff like that. So, Malieve, I know you're here. Well, that sounded really aggressive. Whoops. Malieve, I'm curious, what tournament format do you have? Is that double elimination? Just curious. I think Malieve might have stepped out for a second, but if anybody knows, let me know. Let's hop in the Discord, see what's going on. Got some stuff. Yeah, just oh, it's double elimination. Okay, cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I know there's some special rules for that one, so I'm interested in how that's gonna go. Oh, you want to randomly generate 3 pairings and then remove? Yeah, just go for it. Whatever, however you want to do this. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter to me. Got a D6. Is it sat? Like, all my D6s are across the room. You're gonna make me get up now. I've got a fidget cube. It has 6 sides. I can't assign numbers to this though. Got a D6. All right, hold on. Hold on. I might have a D6. Ugh. That is the longest link I've ever seen, Paul. I'm like frantically digging around in my dice bag for my fun D6. Oh, come on. I've got a really fun D6. I can't really... I wish I could move my camera so you could see me roll this. It is a dice sack. There's way too many... There's way too many dice in here. Oh god, I just dropped one. And I'll never find that, so... Alright, I have found it. I have found the D6 that I wanted to find. Because it's oddly very appropriate for steampunk stuff. Hold on. Actually, I think I have a steampunk set that's actually like sold as steampunk. However, I do have this beauty. I don't know if this is gonna autofocus. I don't think it is, but where is it? Oh god. Yeah, I don't have this thing on autofocus, so bear with me. Yes. The fun little metal one. It makes nice tinkly sounds, which you can't really hear right now. But anyway. What do you want me to roll? I'm ready to roll. Oh man, I can't really move my camera either because it's got the green screen effect on it. So unless I turn everything off, I don't think it's gonna really be able to show the roll at this point. Oh god, my desk is just full of dice now. This is this is terrible. What have I done? No, it's not overcomplicating. It's amusing. That's all. I think this is fun. I think we should roll dice every time we have a tournament. All right, what do you want me to roll? Tell me when you need me to roll. This is very engaging. Oh man. We have fun here sometimes. 2d6. Okay, can I preface this? Do you think this one's legal? I'm joking. This is like the worst die I've ever seen. That's not a legal die. All right, let's roll 2d6. Let's see if I can get this on microphone. All right, first one. I wonder if this is going to be mirrored. Hopefully this isn't mirrored on the camera, but you can't tell on that one super well. But we have a 3 and a 4. Woo! We have 3 and 4. I might have to switch that camera so you guys can actually like. I'm sure you guys are smart enough to figure out backwards numbers, but it bothers me. Hold on, let me switch my webcam. Oh man. Oh, never mind. Let's not do that live. That could be a disaster. Anyway. Oh man. Exordium, you got out. You got out easy this time. You don't have to fight Lances. 2d4. Okay. Oh, 2d4. Oh, dude, you're putting me on the spot. There they are. All right. I have my caltrops die, basically. 2d4. We've got... Oop, there we go. We've got 3 and 1. You can't read that at all. Wow. Great content. 3 and 1. Gonna fight. Oh. Were those two training together last night? And they don't have to fight each other. Oh, man. Okay. Now you got me, like, really distracted just digging through this dice sack. Do I need to do, like, show and tell of my favorite dice that I have? Because I do have favorites. Oh, God. This is terribly distracting. Yeah, way too distracting. All right. The new meta. That's strong words. That's very bold. Well, you gotta prove that it's the new meta by beating everybody else. Fine, it's my dice bag. Get out of here. Don't make me embarrassed on stream. Oh, man. All right, so we have some links here. Okay, so go to the tournament chat channel in the Discord. We have some real matches running, so Jason was able to set that up pretty quick. All right. Hey, Jason, is the if I turn on this well, actually, I'll just see what's happening here. Is this bracket accurate? Looks like it. This is does this bracket look right? I hope it does. Oh, man. I'm just like getting some stuff set up. Okay, cool. So let's get into a match. Let's do that. Yeah. What are we here for? We weren't here for dice. We're here for games. Oh, man. All right. Let's fire it up, shall we? Spectate a match. We're in a match between Exordium and Elemento. Exordium with the Ranger, our new lovely character 7, and the Engineer against what I believe is character 6, the Berserker and the Ranger. We have a kind of semi smaller battlefield layout right now, with 2 being blocked off on the top row. Some really good placement with that totem, for totem right there. Firing it up with the Ranger. Looks like the shock module is active right now, so that Engineer is going to be slowly taking some damage over the next few rounds. Engineer is going to fire back, but that is definitely worth that combo with character 6, the Ranger, and Berserker, all attacking our new lovely character 7. Let's see if 7 survives. Character 7's definitely getting targeted first here, which is probably a safe bet because they're kind of an unknown at this point unless you've been experimenting with this character a lot. So we'll see what happens. Looks like the Exordium is going to target that Ranger right there. Is it the Ranger? Hold on. No, it is character 6. Sorry about that. All right, let's see what this new character can do here. Looks like Exordium has been kind of targeting a lot of different characters right here, really softening them up to AoE damage. Some Berserker damage, some Ranger damage, some damage to Totem. So we'll see what their overall kind of strategy entails here. Really taking down the defense on Totem right there. Not quite enough to take it out completely, but that's definitely going to put them on the back foot. It does look like Elemento does have 3 attacks in a row, so they're definitely going to get off some interesting, cool combos there. So is it going to be enough to completely take out character 7? I don't know. We'll find out in the next couple of minutes. It looks like Exordium is going for a plan to kind of try to raise the defensive capabilities of character 7 momentarily, and also that also takes the Engineer out of range of that Totem, so they won't be taking that constant 2 damage every single round. So pretty good moves here. However, that character is very susceptible right now to any kind of attacks. Considering that they don't have much defensive capabilities, especially since they are not using Levitate as of right now. They are going to get in some pot shots, though, with that support ability, so it might be worth it overall. So just as I said, a nice little 10 damage right there, which that usually doesn't do as much damage. However, with the broken defense of Totem, that takes them down very low. I'm not sure they were expecting that much damage. They're kind of on... they have 3 health left, so not a heck of a lot, but definitely Elemento can get out some good damage in the meantime. All right, Elemento's got 1 more attack before Exordium can use that Ranger to probably take out Totem with 1 quick shot. We're doing some trading blows here, trying to get as much damage in as possible. However, that Engineer is going to get a bunch of damage off of that Berserker before they do get knocked out. So the Engineer does elemental damage, so that does do a lot of damage to the Berserker, which naturally has a lower elemental defense. So we've got the Ranger right here. They actually do take out Totem, so they won't have to worry about any more any of their stances for now. That Totem placement does cause a little bit of a problem, though. However, they are going to go into that front row, get as much dodge percent chance as possible off of that Ranger, raising it from 25% to 35%. Character 7 is taking a lot of damage in the meantime, though, so Exordium is really going to have to figure something out. Are they going to take out the Berserker as fast as possible? Are they going to try to take down that Ranger, depending on what stance Elemento chooses right now? Lots of different options here. Elemento going for a support style stance here, going behind the Berserker to hopefully stave off some damage. Exordium just using a quick shot on the Berserker. Try to soften them up, getting them down to 22 health. It may or may not be enough, but we'll see here. They are going to use that support ability, so hopefully deal enough damage between character 7 and that Ranger to knock them out. However, they could go for a little bit more defensive play, but they are going to go for that extra damage, getting them down to 4 health. They are going to take another turn, though, so Exordium does leave themselves up for some counterplay here. All right, moving out of that Totem's range, moving out of the pressure release. Both in the front row, but they're kind of stranded right now. Normally, character 7 would be able to defend against that Ranger. However, they are not able to. Surprisingly enough, surviving that combo from Elemento's Berserker and Ranger down to 3 health. Elemento does have another attack from that Ranger. So they are going to be able to take out Exordium's character 7. However, that does give Exordium the last one standing bonus on their Ranger. So we might see a familiar Ranger v Ranger strategy here. Very common matchup. Elemento moving that Berserker into range so they can really take advantage of a support. Oh, so Elemento is going to switch up their targeting practices here, and they're going to try to get as much combo damage off of that Berserker before the Berserker is taken out by Exordium. So dealing a ton of damage to that Ranger in the meantime, bringing it in range to just a couple of quick shots, it looks like. Taking out that Berserker, this does give Elemento that last one standing bonus. However, let's see what happens here with Exordium's character 7. They could make a big difference here. They are going to use that quick shot. Or excuse me, the support stance there to hopefully get off a quick shot. Using that piercing wit to get a little bit of damage. We don't see any dodges from Elemento, so the game done changed. Let's see what happens here. Elemento probably able to take out either character with a quick shot. And they go for character 7 there, leaving up Exordium's Ranger with that last one standing bonus. So this is going to be a close fight. Both characters down very low in their health totals. We do see a dodge from Elemento, though, so this game honestly could go either way at any point. All right, and that seals it. Elemento does take this first match. All right. Yeah, that was very interesting. Good point, Jason. Different compositions, but ultimately a very close battle. Very close battle. Let's see what else is going on here. See what other battles we got. All right. Let's try to catch up with another matchup here while we're waiting for some more battles to show up. All right. Just gonna double check something here real quick. All right, we have game capture. Very good. Just wanted to reset my client a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed some a little bit of a hitching up kind of stuff, but if you didn't, that's great. Let's load up a match between Alphen and Lances right now. Let's get this going. This might be really quick because this match has been going on for a little while, so bear with me while I try to commentate this. So we've got a 2-column formation here. Alphen using a familiar sight here on this layout with Totem, Ranger, and the Engineer. Lances going for a Ranger Character 7 Berserker setup. So, seeing plenty of the new character in these. Saw the new character in both of these matches so far. Looks like Alphen's going for a strategy to pull that Ranger into the trap. Let's see if we see it here. And we do see that. Lots of combo damage, taking down that Ranger very low to 10 health, actually. All right. Seeing a lot of damage over on the other side. Alphen's Ranger also in a little bit of trouble right now. Not quite enough damage there from that Disruptor Blade to take out that Ranger. Trading blows here to try to get as much damage from that Berserker. But not quite enough damage to fully take out that Ranger, so Alphen's Ranger will be able to take out, hopefully, unless we see a dodge here. We might see a dodge. But they are going to use that trap for the sure thing before that Ranger gets taken out. It looks like they're going to use Character 6 here to try to take out that Ranger. We do not see a dodge, so Alphen can can relax for a little while before their Ranger gets taken out here. So we're down to a 2v2 situation with Character 6 and the Engineer on Alphen's side, and Character 7 and the Berserker for Lances. Alphen focusing up there on that Engineer. Let's see what Totem does. They're just going to use a pressure release and a stun module to try to slow down the Berserker as much as possible. If they don't move out of that column, they're going to be in trouble because they're going to get slowed down. The Berserker also, just in general, a very slow character. If they get slowed down more, and it looks like they are going to get slowed down considerably. So we'll see if the Berserker actually lasts until, their next turn. Both getting hit by pressure releases here, getting hit by a lot of steam. Alphen really whittling away on those characters, using a gigantic Fire Lance there, trying to do as much AoE damage as possible before Lances can take another round. Doing another focus up there from Alphen. That can only mean one thing. They're looking to do a nice little pressure release at some point. Doing plenty of damage with that piercing wit. 15 damage right there, but taking a little bit, our first little bit of fatigue. Alphen's really just focusing up, so let's see what happens here. The Berserker does have that trade blows, but depending on who they do that to, they could take a lot of damage. They're going to take 14 damage. That is enough to take out that Engineer. Berserker trying to move out of the way. However, Alphen does have 2 rounds. They're going to use that pressure release. Tons of damage. They are going to also be able to place another totem, but they are going to use a Disruptor Blade. Unfortunately, not going to be able to push back Character 7. Lances looking to focus up here on hopefully going to survive the extra blows from character 6. They're slowly but surely doing damage here. Just the disparity between speed of these characters really gets hit home here, and that's enough to bring Alphen the victory. All right. So, some really exciting matches right here. We're really seeing the utility of character 7 in these early matches. There's going to be some interesting stuff hopefully later on. Hopefully we'll see some really cool focus abilities. We almost saw one there, but it was just not quite enough. So we really want to see those earlier in the fight. Later on in the fight, it's kind of more of a desperation move. The anti-row ability, that armor break, really does a lot of damage, but it's obviously most effective when more characters are in the game. So, but sometimes that's kind of tough to set up due to the character's speed. So we'll see what happens. All right. All right, we've got Works and Malieve getting ready for round 2. We'll tune in with them pretty soon. We'll let them choose their characters and their stances, and then we'll get going. Lots of chatter in the Discord right now. Lots of strategies going around, some questions about targeting and all that kind of stuff. So we do have some interesting targeting stuff going on teams that have both character 7 and the warrior. I'm sure at some point Jason can chime in on how exactly the stacking of guards works. So I believe, and Jason, feel free to correct me on this, if a character is getting affected by both guard and sweeping guard, the character who will take the damage will be the first one that went into that stance and basically tagged that character. So if you're not sure, it's always going to be the character that started guarding them first. So they will take that damage. So in terms of like targeting, that's how that's affected. All right, so it looks like Elemento took 2 rounds against Exordium. So we see our first win of the tournament here. Seeing a lot of chatter about calling character 7 Salt. We might that might eventually be a thing. Maybe, unless we get some competing nicknames for this character. We're already seeing some salt being created by this character due to overlapping guard abilities. So mission accomplished. Comment from Lances here. I feel like character 7 can work as support can work as support / tank, and I like one of his normal abilities is practically ranger focus ability to heal. So basically the difference between those two abilities is that the character 7's heal ability is all defensive oriented. So it is a small heal plus a like one-time defensive bonus. And with the ranger, they can target themselves, which can be very useful for a character that has a higher speed. And also it increases their damage output for 2 additional rounds. So it basically, they're not, if they do this ability early on in the round, it'll pay for itself essentially. So yeah. All right. So, so basically, something to remember is that character 7 can't target themselves with that heal. So they're entirely reliant on other characters being up for that ability to be effective at all. So really solidifying that like more supporty kind of thing. That kind of angle on that character. Yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know. It's always fun talking design. All right, let's get into another battle. Who's up now? I am going to double check on somebody. I think Alphen and Lances are actually in a second battle, so let's see what's up. Duels in progress, so let's go. Ooh, all right. So we've got Alphen on the left-hand side in a completely open battlefield here with the Berserker, the Ranger, and the Engineer. Lances with the Ranger, the Berserker, and instead of the Engineer, the Chemist. So let's see what happens here. Lances going for a full row type effect. Alphen going for more of a hybrid, since none of their characters are very like tanky. However, they do want to take advantage of the Ranger's dodge stance by putting them in that front row. All right, it looks like Lances is really going after that Berserker as fast as they possibly can. It looks like it's going to pay off at this point. However, Alphen does have 3 rounds coming up undisturbed. Or excuse me. Wow, I didn't switch over. There we go. Someone tell me I do that next time. When I do that next time. Anyway, now you can see what I'm talking about. So we've got Alphen over there and Lances on the right. So as you can see, Alphen's Berserker is relatively low in health, but they are going to be able to get off some cool support abilities pretty soon. Berserker is going to... let's see what they target. They might be in trouble if they target Lances as Berserker here, but they have pretty much otherwise free reign here. They are going to take fatal damage, unfortunately. So they get off a little bit of damage on that Berserker, but it is definitely worth it because they're able to use the Engineer and the Ranger there to also take out the Berserker on the other side. So we do have a 2-on-2 matchup as of right now. 2 Rangers and then an Engineer and a Chemist. So let's see what happens here. Alphen looking to stack up behind that Ranger, getting a little bit of defense, but also being able to use their more offensive stance here. All right. Lances using a little bit of range damage there, so the Engineer's stance is not triggered in this circumstance, since they're not attacking in that same kind of row, excuse me. Looks like Lances is going to focus up on their Chemist, so it looks like we're probably going to see another Flame Flask at some point. That is usually pretty good in these situations. However, Alphen's Ranger is pretty fast. The Engineer is not. However, the Engineer does have a little bit more of a, elemental defense. So we're not going to see as much damage, but it's definitely possible. Alphen putting down that trap right there, since they still have their main combo up and running with the Engineer and the Ranger. So it looks like Lances is going to try to move out of the way of that trap if they can. However, Lances is in the middle right there, so they kind of unless they since they put that right there, unless they do not move their Chemist, it looks like they're not going to be able to get pulled in there at any point in time. Let's see who launches targets here with that Flame Flash. They are going to go after that Engineer, getting a little bit of a bonus there from that support ability from the Ranger. And depending on how much damage his fire does, it looks like it could be it for that Engineer. It looks like it might not be it, considering that they did take 2 fire damage on that last round. And it looks like they're going to take another 2 damage here as well, unless that Ranger moves. The Ranger does move, so let's see if this makes a difference. It does not make enough of a difference in that defensive stat. So they are hanging out with that 1 health, able to get off a really cool combo on that Chemist. Is not going to be quite enough to take them out, though. So for the time being, they're all right. So they could potentially get another round from that Chemist. Both of those more supportive characters down to very low health. Looks like Lances is going to take out that Engineer. Let's see what they do with that Chemist, though. They're going to move side to side there, get that defensive stance in there. Let's see what they do here, though. Going to use that Vigor Potion. You know, a good way to get out a little bit extra damage there before they are taken out. They're going to start healing. However, it's not going to be enough. Definitely due to, you know, all the nice little bit of quick damage there from the quick shot. All right, it looks like it's Ranger v Ranger here. Lances getting lucky there and getting off a decent amount of damage from that quick shot with the Vigor. We do not see a dodge there. So Lances does get out to an early lead on this Ranger v Ranger matchup. Seeing a focus from Alphen right there, going back into that evasive stance. Also see a focus from Lances. All right. We're going for a long haul. All right, we see that field kit right there getting a little bit of healing and some bonus attack damage pretty soon. We do see a dodge from Alphen. Lances does use that explosive round, so that's rather unfortunate in this situation. So it looks like it's going to come down to a dodge fight. Alphen getting some decent damage off of that quick shot due to the damage bonus from that focus ability. A good hit from Lances, evening up this matchup right now. Seeing another focus from Alphen. Right back to that evasive stance. Seeing another good quick shot from Lances. Only a couple more of those and the game is won. Unless Alphen gets off some interesting abilities here. It looks like we're going to see another field kit, but they could switch it up a little bit. Another field kit brings them up to 26 health, so they still can take a couple of more hits, but they also do get that damage boost output. Another focus from Lances here. Right back to evasive. Another focus up from Alphen. A very defensive kind of approach from both of these players right now. Another couple of shots off, but we see another dodge. Still seeing some solid damage from Lances here. Getting Alphen down to 8 health, so it looks like it's just gonna be another quick shot, and that'll be it. However, stranger things have happened, so don't don't count this battle as won for Lances quite yet. Another dodge from Lances here. Or excuse me, from Alphen. All right. Lances down to 25 health, Alphen down to 6. So we're in another situation. Lances has been here before. Let's see if they can get this shot. Another dodge from Alphen. So this match keeps on getting closer and closer. All right. See another focus up from Alphen. Let's see if Lances can do it this time. Third time's a charm, right? All right, and that's it. Oh, man. Another really tight fight right here. Oh, all right. So we had a little bit of a bug in some targeting at one point. So if you guys are in the tournament, and want to see the change actually reflected in your game, highly suggest restarting your client. Just exit out of everything, reload it, bring it back in, and a bug has been fixed on the fly from Jason. So I'm actually going to do the same thing right now, just to make sure that my client is up to date. So bear with me for a little bit. Just bring up that client one more time. All right, cool tournament so far. It's nice to see a lot of the new character in here. All right, and we're back in the game. So let's see what is going on right now. So we've got a round 3 between Wargs and Malieve, actually. So I believe we're gonna go check that out. And it looks like these players are still choosing their characters as of right now. Let's switch over to that view. See? Right behind me. It says waiting for battle to start. So we're going to wait. Yeah, if you guys find any bugs during this tournament, feel free to let us know. Because sometimes we can fix stuff on the fly. Sometimes we can't, you know. Sometimes it's a little bit bigger of an issue, but sometimes it's just like a little exception to some rule somewhere that we can just like flip a switch. But, you know, it's usually fine. All right. So, what we got going on here? We see an interesting matchup right here between Wargs and Malieve. We have a 2 columns set up right now. So on the left-hand side, we have Wargs with the Warrior, Character 7, and the Ranger. On the right-hand side with Malieve, we have the Warrior, Character 7, and the Engineer. So both situations here with the Warrior and Character 7 working hand in hand on some kind of strategy. Warwick's looking to basically do a double defense kind of setup for that Ranger. However, opting for a more offensive strategy with that Warrior using Sentinel stance. Malieve very similarly using using that same stance, but a little bit differently here. Basically letting Character 7 take all that damage for the Engineer, and really using Also using character 7 for, you know, double duty on that defensive kind of stuff. It looks like they're gonna hop backwards into a sentinel stance to really counterplay against Wargs' melee style damage. They do have that ranger, so that's not going to be as effective, but considering 2 out of 3 characters right now are melee focused on Wargs' side, it's definitely that definitely will make a difference here. Yeah, I'm curious about Wargs' situation as of right now. They could be using the warrior to just get a pure stat bonus onto the ranger to increase their defenses, but also still using that, using the sentinel stance for that offensive offensive bonus. When Sentinel isn't triggered, they do get that extra bonus damage on their next attack. So they could be using that until they don't have to move the character at all. They can just switch the stance. So we'll see how this plays out for them. It looks like Wargs is using that warrior to actually support character 7 right there. Using Inspire to give them focus as soon as possible. So we might actually see some interesting focus abilities from Warwick's character 7 here. All right. Let's see what Maliv does right now. They've got that engineer up. See who they start targeting here. And I'm back. A lot of thinking going over on Maliv's side right now. Looks like they're going to pull that warrior out of the way. So that ranger does not have that defensive bonus as of right now. Yeah, I'm not used to these lines, so we'll see what kind of strategies are forming between these characters right now. Wargs does have a focus on their character 7, so we should be seeing some kind of focus ability from them, unless they're just biding their time, which they might be. Looks like they're going to use that armor break, definitely doing a lot of damage to Maliv's character 7. So definitely Warwick's basically showing who they're going to try to focus down as of right now. Maliv's character 7 does have 2 stacks of fatigue, as you can see right here. So their defenses are actually quite average as of right now. So definitely a decent target to hit here. All right. We're back to Wargs' ranger, just getting in that nice quick shot. There we go. Leaves warrior up. Pretty much untouched warrior as of right now. So they've got a lot of flexibility in terms of their long-term strategy. They're going to keep on using Inspire as much as they can, it seems like. Really trying to support that engineer as much as they can to get off those interesting abilities that they do have. I believe does have their character 7 up. Gonna see what they're gonna do here. Wargs is using that more defensive ability there, and coupled with the warrior's the warrior sentinel stance, it looks like they are going to pay quite a price here to get off a little bit of damage. Ultimately 20 damage. Maliv's character 7 is in kind of a tight spot right now, but however it looks like they can survive, you know, for a few more rounds. I'm not sure what they're going to get here, but they are taking on some fatigue in order to try to soak up at least one more hit for either the warrior or the engineer. Definitely thinking about who they're going to target right now. It's a little bit of a difficult call. They are going to take a little bit of damage. If they try to take out Character 7, they are going to take a little bit of damage from that Sentinel stance from the Warrior, so that is going to be a little bit pricey. But never underestimate the utility of being in a 3v2 situation. Looks like they are going to use Inspire there, kind of biding their time for a little bit. See what Maliv does here. We got a good Fire Lance, dealing some decent damage right there. 15 plus 17. 32 damage from a single attack, really taking Warx' characters, mostly down to half health. So Maliv is going to have to switch things up and start focusing one character down, though, if they're going to get the upper hand at some point. Because Warwick's character 7 does have that focus, so they're trying to figure out whether or not they want to do more offensive-based ability, or if they want to use their more defensive style ability. We'll see what happens, what skill they choose here. They are starting to take a decent amount of fatigue, though, so their character 7 not as tanky as it once was. They are going to take a little bit more damage there from that Sentinel stance. However, they are looking to take out Maliv's character 7. So we're in a 3v2 situation. Warwick's choosing to retain that focus. If Maliv can take out that character, then, with focus still on them, that is kind of a wasted round. But it looks like Warwick's does have 2 rounds with that Ranger before Maliv can take a shot. So it really looks like they're going to try to focus down that Engineer as soon as possible. All right, getting that attack bonus from support. It looks like it's going to be enough to take out that Engineer, and it is. So we're in a 3v1 situation. 3 characters on Warwick's side, all weakened up considerably, however, because Maliv has a full health Warrior with that last one standing bonus. So potentially, this character could be pretty dangerous in these upcoming rounds. So Maliv's really going to have to try to knock out these characters as fast as they possibly can, so they don't get pummeled by all of these support abilities. Taking 9 damage from that Sentinel stance, unfortunately, but they are going to do 15 damage to character 7, really getting them down to very low health at this point. Switching it up back to Sentinel stance, the Warrior can't really do much stuff offensively without getting hit by that Sentinel stance. Is it going to be enough to knock them out immediately? I'm not sure, but it looks like they are going to focus up here. Warwick's biding their time, understanding that they really need to plan out their abilities as much as possible to not get taken out by that last one standing bonus that the Warrior has as of right now. So it looks like they are going to use that Rousing Speech, giving attack damage bonus to all characters. It's going to start to add up. 20 damage from a quick shot right there. That's a considerable amount at this stage in the game. And it looks like Warwick still has that attack bonus on character 7 and their Warrior. So unless Maliv can take out one of their characters now, they're going to be in a tough situation. And they're also down to 7 health. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to pull this one off. Another couple of rounds, though, and this might have been a different game. But the way it stands right now, it looks like Warwick is going to be able to take them out. And that's what happens. Very interesting game. A lot of different... it's definitely interesting to see different strategies for our new character being played. So just a quick update on this bracket. We have Lances and Elemento taking their first matches. We're still going to see what happens between Warwick and Maliv here. I believe that was the 3rd round. So we should see this bracket update pretty soon. All right. All right, so it looks like Wargs did take this round. So Wargs will get a nice little number 1 right there. So they get a win here today. There we go, and it just updated. There we go. So we have concluded the first round of matches and on to the second one. So we should have all new matchups this time around. All right. So it looks like we're generating some matches here now that first round is over. So we have a little bit of a break until things start up again. I feel like it's time for a dog break. Who wants to see a dog? Garrus, come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh. It's dog time. What do you have to say for yourself, Garrus? Nothing? As normal. This is like the quietest dog. He only barks if he's lonely, if he's left alone. Are you a sweet boy? Yeah, are you a sweet boy? Here you are. So good. You want to comment on the tournament? You want to do that? How do you think it's going so far? Good? Yeah? Yeah, you want to go for another hike? Is that what you want? Do you want to go for a hike? Do you want to go in my backpack? Probably not today. All right. You be good. He's a good sport. He's a good sport. All right. It looks like we've got another match starting up between Elemento and Lances, so we're gonna hop over to that. All right. Let's get there. All right, the match is gonna start. I'll be right back. But for now, I'll leave you guys with the start of this match. And as always, whenever I leave, it's always a very exciting match. So be aware. All right, see you guys in a second. As always, the one that I miss is always a very exciting match. We almost saw a very awesome win there from Lances there using that chemist. Chemist not used as often, but we saw that it's still definitely still definitely viable. So we're basically one attack off from that character winning here. But yeah, close match, well won, definitely. Don't get me wrong. But you know, that's just sometimes what happens. All right. Really well played match though. I was actually getting a little bit of water there, but I was watching, I promise. All right. All right, I'm gonna load up a match between Exordium and Alphen right now. See how this goes. Whoop. There we go. All right, so on Exordium's side, we have the Berserker, the Ranger, and the Engineer. On the opposite side, we have almost the same matchup. However, we see Totem on Alphen's side instead of that Berserker. So Alphen going for a more kind of area control type approach with a combination between that totem and the and that trap, dealing a ton of damage with that really simple combo. Exordium is going to go for a very offensive kind of tact with that Berserker, trying to get off as many attacks as possible with that character in the meantime. And we see Exordium's Ranger almost taken out there. However, it does look like Exordium is going to get off a couple more attacks with that Berserker. Just that raw power from that character can be absolutely devastating, especially with a combo just like that, completely taking out that Ranger there, finishing them off as soon as they possibly can. It looks like it's down to character 6 and the Engineer right now. So Alphen going for kind of AoE attack as soon as they possibly can. It looks like Exordium is using, that trade blows, which is one of their, one of two ways that they can really deal damage at this point to a levitating character. It looks like it's probably gonna be almost enough right now. Exordium opting to switch that character over. However, everyone's gonna get overloaded, so it looks like Alphen is going to be able to get another round out of that Engineer right now. They are focusing up. It looks like they are going to use that focus fire, or return fire, excuse me. But they are going to be taken out by that arm hook before they can really capitalize on that. Alphen putting down character 6, the totem there, to try to do some chip damage on that Berserker, and also setting up probably another focus ability, maybe just a pressure release, I don't know. But Totem does have a lot of turns coming up soon, so Exordium is going to have to deal a lot of damage relatively soon in order to be able to take out that character. Exordium is going to get into that row with that character. It looks like Alphen will focus up. Odds are they're going to move out of that row, so they don't get hit by the Berserker's ability there. But you never know. They are opting not to move in this situation. Exordium will be able to get off a little combo with that Berserker here. So using that broken defense to lower those defensives down as much as possible. Not quite enough damage, but it's going to be a really close fight here, it looks like. Alphen really looking to take out the Berserker, using a huge overload. The last one standing bonus doing a ton of damage there. Not quite enough right now, so it looks like Alphen is going to get a round with that character. They're going to have to figure out something pretty soon, though. And it's not quite enough because of that return fire, the disruptor blade doing a melee attack technically in that same row, so they're able to get off that that stance right there. Getting a win for Exordium. All right. So, what are we gonna watch next? Do. Let's just chill for a little while. We have some matches going on as of right now, but you know, I'm gonna wait actually for another battle to start. So it looks like we're probably gonna check back in with Exordium and Alphen to see if Alphen can return the favor and tie up this series to go into a third round. But it was a pretty close match, so that's definitely an option here. We'll see if these players switch up their strategies at all. Or, since it was so close, honestly, it could have gone either way, depending on a couple of certain actions that either player could have done. So yeah, let's just get back into that, shall we? Looks like, yeah, so it looks like we have a little bit of a switch up here, considering the different battlefield layout. So it's a full battlefield layout, so characters like Totem are not as effective. So we're going to see, usually, as always, kind of like a Ranger Warrior kind of setup. However, this one's a little bit different on Exordium's side, using that, using getting a little tongue-tied here, using that Sentinel stance in the beginning to kind of punish any kind of melee attackers. Alpha not using as many melee attackers here, pretty much just the Warrior. But Exordium still is using that combo between the Ranger and the Engineer as of right now. So it looks like Alphen's going to have to move out of the way with that Chemist in order to not get comboed by that arm hook. And we have an interesting camera angle right here that I haven't actually seen in a while. This is new to me. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, so I'm actually going to probably... Actually, no, I'll leave it here. I'm curious what's going on. Did we have a disconnect? I'm not sure. Someone check in with Alphen. Or I might be desynced, who knows? Yeah, I'm checking it out right now, too. And it looks like we might have gotten a disconnect here. So as of right now, the tournament rules, there's no, rematch for this. But we'll see how the players want to handle this as of right now. It's pretty much up to them. Is it stuck on the chemist right now? Yeah, it's pretty stuck in my book. Apparently Alphen's network dropped, so I'm gonna actually get out of this combat right now. Gonna switch on over real quick. Just gonna quit out real. So we'll see what we want to do here. We can try to restart the match. We'll see what happens. Looks like while we were in that match, Elemento did take their second match of the day. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna do like a manual invite to a duel at some point, just to reset that match technically. It wouldn't be a tournament without some kind of technical difficulties. It's just how it is. This seems like a network issue, though, so that's definitely understandable. I'm playing Steamhounds. Yeah, Paul just mentioned, what games am I playing currently? Besides Steamhounds? What am I playing right now? Let's see. My partner is currently playing through Persona 4, actually. Yeah, Steamhounds is the correct answer. Yeah, hello. Yeah, thanks for joining the stream. We're just in between a couple of matches right now. Just chatting. Yeah, we're playing Persona. I have played a little bit of 4 before. When I say a little bit, probably maybe like halfway through the game or something like that, but that was way back in college. So we're playing Persona 4 right now. Me trying not to backseat game as much as possible. I am improving on that though. A nice game. What else were we playing? I've played semi recently started playing a little bit of what is it, Final Fantasy 15? Or not 15. Whatever the MMO version is. Whatever the final is, that 14? I don't even know. I should probably know what number it is, but after a while they all kind of blur together. Yeah, we were playing that a little bit. That was fun. It's definitely different than WoW, which is what I'm used to. A little bit more dynamic combat in the beginning, which is fun. Other stuff. Been playing a decent amount of Sea of Thieves, actually. Because that was just recently released on Steam. So I've got a good pirate crew together. We've got 4 of us. And we get murdered all the time. Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's a really fun game, but you know, sometimes that game is very, very difficult for new players. But don't let that stop you from playing it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, Sea of Thieves. That's like it's only multiplayer basically. Like you can like have a sloop by yourself, but that is so difficult to play that game solo. Yeah, just like sailing around, the active sailing in that game is a lot of fun. Just cruising, and then an AI ship or a player ship shows up and can wreck your day sometimes. They gotta fire a couple warning shots against other players to let them know that, you know, you're ready. But the AI doesn't care. The AI will just take you out. You can't fire warning shots at the AI. But I've yet to take down an enemy skeleton, or excuse me, an AI skeleton ship. Took down a ghost ship without too much problem, but yeah. It's a lot of fun. I should stream it at some point. It's a really good streaming game. It's really cool. We don't have a pirate song. I get into character on occasion. But it's good for a good 30 seconds or so, and then something bad happens when you actually have to communicate. Yeah, let's check out the fight between Works and Elemento. Actually, we can still talk about pirates, but I just want to get up a match running at this point. All right, join in. All right, match between Works and Elemento. We see character 7, the Warrior and the Ranger on Works' side, and on the right side for the Elemento, we have Totem, Berserker, and Ranger. And this is a wide open match. Excuse me, a wide open map. And Elemento getting really lucky there with Works' placement. They're able to put that totem smack dab in the middle of the battlefield. So really absolutely opportune placement here. Let's see how much of a difference that makes during this fight, because just about everyone is now in range of a pressure release and in range of their system overload. So depending on what they want to do, that could make a big difference, or not, depending on what they really want to do. But let's see what happens here. All right, so this attack will really tell us who Elemento is looking to try to focus down first. They can target anybody. They don't have to worry about the Warrior Sentinel stance. They don't have to worry about Character 7's wide guard. They can just choose who they want to at this point. So this will really be telling in terms of like how they're going to tackle this little puzzle that Warix has set up for them. Has anyone else here played Sea of Thieves? I'm curious. Because my experience is very interesting. Like, I really like playing it with other people. I don't like playing it by myself. But that might be because I'm just really bad at it. So it looks like Elemento is going to start poking away at Warx' Ranger. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to continue that due to that wide guard stance, but let's see what happens here. Oh, you've played it? You've played it? Yeah, no, it's fun. You should play with us at some point. I've only played it with 4 people or 1 person. I'm usually the navigator. I'm usually like at the helm doing that kind of stuff, having someone else navigate for me. We're so bad. We just realized that raising the front sails of the galleon just a little bit allows the person sailing the ship to actually see. So that helps out a lot. So we're seeing a nice combo from Warix here, really trying to take out Character 6 as fast as possible, or excuse me, Totem, as we now call them. However, it does look like Totem will get another round out of this for the time being. So not exactly sure if they're gonna survive another quick shot, but they will have at least 1 attack left. So they're 1 or 2. We'll see. Elemento really in a tight spot right now, basically being forced to attack Character 7 right here. They don't have much in terms of ranged attacks. They do have Character 6's pressure release as well as the Ranger's attacks, basically. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to get that Ranger down as much as they can. However, that Sentinel stance really does pose a problem for Elemento in the medium to long term situation. However, taking out that ranger will allow them to, take out a lot of their damage output. Warwick's picking away at that berserker, not bothering with totem as of right now, because they are pretty sure they were not going to be able to take them out with one quick shot. See a little bit of a switch up from Warwick's right now, due to that pressure release. So the ranger is not being protected as of right now. Using that quick shot to continuously whittle away at the ranger. It looks like Elemento's character totem is up as of right now, for the time being. I say that because it's going to be pretty soon. They're going to be taking a lot of damage. Oh my gosh. 1 health left on that ranger. It's actually not going to matter because they're going to take damage from that pressure release as soon as that turn starts. But yeah, we're going to be seeing a 2v2 situation here very soon. So we'll see which one of these characters Warwick uses to finish off character 6. It looks like they're going to be using Encourage on that ranger, though. They're going to switch it up and get into a wide guard or sweeping guard stance. Basically, Elemento is going to have to use that range attack damage in order to take them out. It looks like Warwick will have to continue to. They're going to have to use that character on the next turn, their ranger, to take out Totem, because they're down to 1 health, and if they don't do that, Totem's going to get another attack off. So let's see what they do. So yes, they do take that down. So it looks like unless Warwick can get maybe a dodge out of this, Elemento will probably use their ranger to finish off Warwick's ranger. So Warwick does have a 25% chance to dodge this. We'll see if this damage is going to be enough. It might not be enough, considering how the warrior's in front of the ranger. But in my opinion, it's a risk Elemento's going to have to take, because otherwise they're not going to be able to take out that character at all. So they're actually not going to. They're going to leave it up. However, it does look like they're going to be trying to get some nice damage kind of poured into character 7 with their 3 fatigue. So we might see trade blows here. But they're actually, since technically Warwick's warrior is not using that guard stance, the Berserker was able to sneak in there and get a nice little bash in there. Now that Elemento ranger is up, they're able to get that Berserker into range, get some nice attacks off, take a little bit of a hit from that warrior's sentinel stance, but ultimately taking out character 7. Now, this is a 2v1 situation. However, Elemento's Berserker is in a little bit of a pickle because they are all range attacks. So, excuse me, they are all melee attacks, which is not as effective against Warwick's full health warrior. So, we'll see how they work around that. They might primarily use the Berserker for support kind of stuff. It looks like Warwick is able to get in a quick slash there. So if the Berserker gets hit by almost anything as of right now coming from that warrior, especially with that last one standing bonus, it's going to be trouble. So the Berserker is up next. Let's see what Elemento does here. Just overall a very tough spot that they're in. That being said, they do have a full health ranger. So they are just going to use a normal bash here. Honestly, I think Warwick probably could have been better served by getting into that sentinel stance, but they really want to keep as much health as possible. If they were in that sentinel stance, the Berserker was not going to be able to use any attacks. So it looks like Elemento's really using the most out of that little bit of health that the Berserker still has. Warwick is definitely probably going to try to take out the Berserker this round. So it's going to be basically a half health warrior up against a mostly full health ranger from Elemento. And exactly that, getting in a cool 15 damage, +5 from that last one standing bonus. So Elemento does have the last one standing bonus now from that Ranger. Warwick's going for a more offensive approach here with that Sentinel stance, getting that bonus damage onto their attacks. Elemento is just going to use a nice little quick shot. Since the warrior cannot dodge, the warrior is on a timer. So another solid dodge, a solid dodge from Elemento, really I think is going to seal Warwick's fate. Warwick's switching over to a defensive stance because they still have that bonus to attack, since they were not able to connect on that last attack. So dealing 8 damage there. It looks like Elemento is going to have to do 1 or 2 damage, but just by the pure number of rounds that their character is going to be able to take pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, unless Warwick can do something with 1 health, I think we know what's going to happen here. Still, 20 damage is pretty good, all things considered, from just a nice little slash. But unfortunately for Warwick's, it just came a little bit too late. Elemento being able to take that match. All right. Very well played, both sides. Very close match. All right, it looks like we have a match between Malieve and Lances. I'm just going to switch that over. It's been going for a few minutes now, so it might be going a little bit fast, but we're going to check in on that anyway. See how that goes. All right, so we do have a little bit of a more limited area in this map. So we are going to see characters like character 6 in here. Not as effective as a pure 2-row, 2-column kind of layout, but still definitely worth a shot here. Lances getting in a pretty good placement on that totem there. Going to be able to deal some decent damage to that warrior over time from that kind of shock damage from totem stance. Lance is going for a very early focus on that engineer. Let's see what kind of plan they have. They could do a couple of things. A pin is always a good solution against melee focused characters, or they can just start trying to do as much AoE style damage as possible. But it is going to take a little while until the engineer on Lance's side is able to go again. Malieve definitely trying to focus down Totem as soon as possible. It looks like they're going to be able to do a decent amount of damage here. Using that piercing wit to get a little bit of chip damage in on that ranger as well. Lance is going to pay a little bit of a price there. Very dangerous move. Down to 1 health, and it was definitely definitely paid the price there in terms of getting off that little attack. But it looks like there's definitely some potential for a lot of damage here. Seeing, oh goodness, it's hard to catch up sometimes when people are going so fast. Lance is getting Malieve's warrior down to 4 health there. Definitely tying that up really well in this situation. Still not even using the focus on Lance's side with that engineer, so that's definitely something to keep in their back pocket for now. Lance's ranger definitely getting into a dangerous amount of health, so they're probably going to have to switch over to more to an evasive stance if they're going to survive, and that's what they do. However, they are behind that engineer. Yeah, well, regardless, piercing wit was enough to take them out. We are down to a 2v1 situation. I'm going to use that focus ability to do some decent AoE damage. Getting a little bit of chip back from that engineer stance, though. They're in a little bit of a tough situation. My money's on Malieve right now. Just pure numbers standpoint. Lance is trying to work as hard as they can to get as much damage output It looks like they're probably going to be able to get another focus ability out, considering just, Lee's character 7 does not have any ranged attacks. So we'll see what happens here. And Losses does concede. It would have been nice to see another focus ability used there, but it just wasn't enough damage. Excellent fight, though. All right. Well, I am looking for another fight. If people want to talk boats, I'm fine with that. Yeah, if you have any pointers for my very amateur sailors, please feel free to throw them our way, because we are very bad. We look good doing it. We've got we did that intro thing to get a bunch of like money, so we actually have like fun hats and stuff, but overall not a very high success rate for some of our missions. And now you have to pick up the game. Yeah, feel free. I don't think it's that expensive. I'm not sure anymore, actually. It might be a little bit expensive. It might be on sale during the Steam sale, although it like just came out for Steam, so I'm not sure how much it is. But it's fun. There's like no progression in it, so if you're into progression, that's not really the game for you. But oh, you got Outer Worlds. Yeah, Outer Worlds is good. That's a nice like whatchamacallit? Concise little like Bethesda-esque game. It's nice, it's fun. It's so confusing that like Outer Worlds and Outer Wilds were both games that came out relatively around the same time, and I like them both a lot. So let's get into let's see, there was a fight between Works and Elemento. They're round 2. So I want to join that. Been going around for a couple of minutes, but not too long. So we'll catch up real quick. All right, let's switch on back over. All right, wide open battlefield here. See character 7 on the left. Totem on the right. Let's see what happens. Warwick's going for... we've seen this strategy a couple of times from Warwick. They seem to really appreciate that one. So, oops, sorry about that. Looks like my client did some fun stuff. So we're going to go back to chatting for the meantime. It's kind of funky looking. We're going to see if we can switch that back on. We do have a game capture there. Hey, it worked. A graceful recovery. Elemento looking to probably looking more towards focusing down that ranger, but character 7 is taking a lot of that damage for them. Warwick's definitely going after that berserker. Just from a pure damage output standpoint, that berserker can do a lot. No, Jason, the game didn't crash. It's fine. It's just me dragging. It's happened when I dragged that client from one screen to the other screen. So OBS did not figure out what to do with that. Looks like Elemental's going to be able to get another attack out of that berserker. So they are actually going to focus up. That's kind of wishful thinking, I think, especially since Wargs' Ranger is up next. It looks like they're probably just going to get a quick shot off, but they don't do that. They're going to switch back over. They think they can do a little bit better with a different character. All right, Elemento chipping away at that Ranger. They do have characters. They do have the totem up right now, so they're going to use another pressure release, really chasing that character down. Elemento able to take out that Ranger. That's pretty big at this stage of the game. Really just chipping away as much as possible against those characters. Wargs' Warrior is up, so it looks like they're probably going to be able to do some nice damage here. And they do, doing a lot of bonus damage with that slash against Elemento's totem. Wargs' character 7 is up, so let's see what they do here. A lot of stuff has probably happened since their last turn, but let's see how they react to this state of the battlefield. Able to get some decent damage in with that piercing wit. Not quite enough to finish off character, not enough to finish off totem, but getting him very close. Again, as always, full health warrior with last one standing bonus can be a little bit intimidating. So we'll see what happens here. Although Elemento's intimidate stance on the Berserker is kind of shutting down Wargs' style for a little bit. However, if they do go in and use the Berserker's attack right now, they're gonna get hit pretty hard, unfortunately, from that Sentinel stance. Let's see if Elemento picks up on that. Otherwise, they might be blinded by the situation. Having focus on the Berserker is you can get a lot of damage output from that, but we'll see what they do. They might just have to bide their time because with the warrior having that Sentinel stance up, it's going to be interesting. They might have to just not do that. So they're going to delay their turn to hopefully be able to do something then. I'm not sure if they're going to actually be able to do something. Chipping down that warrior as they can. And we do have another round from character 6 here. Yeah, Elemento's been pretty solid against the new character. We'll see if they are able to connect here. This is going to be pretty close. Their Berserker is really caught in a tough spot, and their character 6 is pretty much done. So once Wargs is able to take a couple of rounds, this battlefield might look a lot different. Trading in that Berserker, we knew it was going to happen at some point, but they had to do it soon. It just needed to happen at some point. Berserker gets really, they're not in a good situation there. So it looks like Wargs is trying to figure out which character they want to use to finish off character 6. They might not actually finish off character 6 because they don't want to give that Ranger that last one standing bonus. But that's definitely a strategy that they can pursue there. It's also going to be interesting which character Elemento is going to focus down. Just considering the amount of fatigue that's on different characters. There's no fatigue on character 7 now. So they might switch over to using that character to soak up some damage. But they're actually not going to be able to because they definitely took out character 6, leaving them with just range damage on Elemento's side. So it's going to really come down to what Elemento's going to do. Are they going to go for a more long-term strategy, or are they going to try to do a short-term strategy? It looks like they're going to do a short-term strategy. Try to use as many quick shots as they can to knock out that warrior. It's not quite enough there since they did use evasive. If they had used support in this situation, they could have actually, maybe they might have been able to take out that warrior. The warrior had 3 health though, so they might not have been able to do it. So it would have been very, very close. But they decided to do a little bit more a safe route with that evasive. Not sure if that was the right choice, but yeah, it's gonna be close now, considering that Works' characters, they don't have like a really high damage output unless they use like a focus style ability. But just by the fact that you need to take 2 rounds to get a focus ability out there, Elemento is strong against that because of their dodge % chance there. So we're going to actually see a little bit of healing from Character 7 there. Just a nice little clutch heal so that the warrior is not able to be taken out quite yet. But is that going to be enough to catch up? And apparently it is. Elemento decides that it's just not worth playing this one out. So, so that is a game over and a win for Warwick's. All right. So I do believe that those rounds are all tied up between Warwick's and Elemento, so they are going to go to a best of the third round here in this best of 3. A lot of rounds played to 3 here. So that definitely means that players are figuring out how to counter other people's strategies, which is awesome. That's really good. The more characters that we add to this, to our little game here, the more that we're gonna see nice little pockets for counterplay. So who knows? Maybe eventually we'll get some draft picks. But we're probably gonna have to release a few more characters before we're able to get that up and running. I mean, at this point, with 7 characters, only 1 can really be banned. So, we would need to get at least 8 to get like some kind of ban system going or something like that. Or we can just have trading off picks as well. But, you know, it takes a little while to get more characters in. But we'll get there. I promise. Hey, Jason, if you're listening, is there any way to... I'm not sure if this got resolved or anything, but I'm pretty sure that one of these matches should have been resolved. I think the one with Warwick's, I believe, right? Or something like that. Is it between Warwick's and Believe? I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just want to make sure because we had to do that external battle for no, was that Alphen? I can't remember. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. If this bracket is correct, please let me know. I just want to make sure. Sometimes it takes a little while for it to update. Yeah, Alphen and Exordium. Okay. Is that reflected in the bracket? Is everything all up to date? All right, we have 2 round 3 starting. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jason. We have 2 round 3 starting right now. One between Believe and Lances, and the other between Warwick's and Elemento. Let me know which one you want to watch. I wish I could make a poll right now, but I don't think I can. I know there's some way to do it. You could probably do like a straw poll or something like that, but that would require me to be prepared. Let's see. Can I do that? Don't you have to be like... I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, I can't do it. Sorry, Alphen. I cannot do that apparently. Even though I am a mod in this chat. Do not have privileges. Do you have to be like affiliate or something to do that? I think you have to be affiliate, don't you? Or whatever the lower thing is, either partner or affiliate. I think there's ways to do it that aren't like built in if you aren't an affiliate, but I don't have those capabilities. I haven't set that up. But anyway. Yeah, you can use bots. But we should just get affiliate, right? We should if we get affiliate, we could just use the built-in stuff. That's not hard, right? I think we need to stream a little bit more. Not by much though, probably. But hey, whatever. You know, I think I'm gonna go into round 3 between Maliv and Lances, actually. I have decided. I'm just gonna launch it. All right, here we go. All right. Assuming formations. So we've got Maliv on the left and Lances on the right here. Maliv using the Warrior, character 7, and the Ranger. Lances going for Berserker, Ranger, Chemist lineup. Chemist getting a little bit of love right now, which is good. We haven't seen them for quite some time in competitive play. So we'll see what Lances can do here with this character. Quite recently, the Chemist heal did get buffed. So at some point we should be healing. We should be seeing that. If we don't, that's cool too. It's very early into the round, so healing not as effective quite yet, but at some point it will be. Lances using that Berserker's health as much as possible in order to get try to get that warrior damaged. Lances, all their characters not being defended as of right now, so they're able to get, any of them are able to get picked off. So it looks like Maliv is trying to go for that Chemist as soon as possible. A little bit wary of a character that hasn't been used in a while, so going for a safe thing and trying to just pick them off as soon as possible. And they do. So we're very early into a 2v3 situation. Focusing up on that Ranger, switching over to a support. We're going to see the Berserker come in again, get hit by... get hit twice in a row. Really, Lances just trying to take out the crux of Maliv's strategy right here, which is character 7. But they're taking quite a beating. Oh my gosh, Maliv down to 1 health on character 7. That's going to make a pretty big difference, it seems. Getting off some nice combos there between the Warrior and the Ranger. Ranger is going to be up next, able to take out that Berserker without getting into melee range. They're actually going to use a trap instead. Are they playing with Lances? Who knows? They probably actually just don't want Lances to get the last one standing bonus, which would have actually been pretty damaging in this situation with that AoE attack. Maliv really trying to prevent Lances from getting that last one standing bonus, and it seems to be paying off here. All right, so it looks like the Berserker does have the last one standing bonus. A little bit scary with a high damage output character, but since Maliv did switch over to that Sentinel stance, able to take out Lances handily. So it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, Maliv does take this match. All right, awesome match. All right, and coming up next, Alphen, you're up. So we might watch you guys play with Maliv there. Or actually, I'm leaving Alphen. Yeah. So it looks like Maliv actually has a couple more matches up coming up right now, so we're gonna be waiting on them to finish up one of their rounds here. We'll see what happens on the back end. I think Jason is trying to figure out how these matches are being set up. Oh, yeah, a little early on the Maliv v Exordium match, so. All right. So we're getting to the back half of the tournament now. Still plenty of matches left to be played. Thanks for chilling out, everybody. Just kind of relaxing and watching the game. Yeah, feel free to chat or comment or all that good stuff. You know, we're just here to have fun, see some cool matches, all that good stuff. Also, if you have any suggestions for the actual stream itself, let me know. We're all of us are pretty new to this, so I'm definitely up for suggestions. Also, bring a friend. Bring a friend next time. That's your challenge, your homework. School is out, but there's Steamhounds homework to do. Definitely finding a couple of interesting interactions here that we did not find in initial testing. So we're definitely going to see some minor changes probably in that next patch with probably with how the warrior how the warriors not warriors what am I saying, how character 7's attacks work on occasion, how they interact with stuff like levitate and defenses. So you might see a little bit of clarifications there. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find some other interesting stuff going on at some point. So yeah, as always, balance changes, tweaks, all that good stuff. So yeah, I think we're gonna pop into that Maliv v Alphen battle now. Let's do that. Why not? Why not? All right, let's switch on over. All right. We are seeing a battle of two pretty dominant strategies here. We might actually see some whiteness happen there. There we go. Beautiful. That's what we wanted to see. Sorry about that. On the left-hand side, we see a nice little combo between character 7 and the warrior, as well as the engineer. On the right-hand side, we have a very tried-and-true combo on this size map with Totem, Ranger, and the engineer. Really focusing on that early combo of pulling people into the trap. And then afterwards, switching to a more a more totem-focused approach of area control. Alphen getting a decent combo off on that warrior, taking a lot of damage there, getting a little bit of a chip in there as well from the engineer on Maliv's side. Really, that stuff does add up. We see it twice here too. So over time, yeah, their more reactionary stance doesn't do as much damage, you know, for face value, but since it's able to be triggered a decent amount of times, it can add up. Lantis in the chat here saying, seems soldier. I'm assuming you mean warrior. Pretty much the same thing. Looks more like a soldier right now, but with the new sprite, we'll see what they look like. But yeah, warrior plus character 7 is pretty tough and a strong duo. 7 matches, you beat it 3 times. Yeah, it's tough. This is a nice little combo that we saw early on. I think it's fun, personally. But, you know, I'm sure there are definitely some ways to play around this. Probably some more Ranger slash Character 6 focus stuff. Considering that, you know, the Warrior and Character 7 are, neither of them are very fast. So if you can get in, like, a lot of rounds of, say, maybe the Totem's shock stance, kind of chipping away at them over a long period of time, that could potentially do some good damage. You're really looking for some combo-based stuff that doesn't get into melee range because of how Sentinel stance works and how well that couples with Character 7. Like, it's actually really nice. So you're probably going to have to go for a more range strategy. That being what it is, though, it's definitely challenging as of right now, because you need to survive. You know, they just have such staying power. So you really need to survive into the later rounds where you can get off focus abilities, all that good stuff, in order to kind of take out one of the puzzle pieces, basically. Like, take out one of their characters early so they can't rely on them. So Alphen definitely looking to try to get rid of that warrior, who's causing quite a problem right now with that sentinel stance. And it looks like they are going to be able to take out that warrior, considering that shock module is doing 3 damage per round. They have a few rounds left on that. So unless Maliv moves that character 7 into the same row and maybe takes a few hits, I'm not sure if that warrior is going to survive. But it's a tough call, ultimately. You might want to not take as much damage on character 7 just as it is. So we've got Alphen right now. Let's see what they do. They do have... it looks like they are going to focus up. A decent move, considering how much health that character has right now. They just have a decent amount of health. They can survive a couple of hits. They're going to be able to get off that focus ability. Odds are in their favor. They're going to be able to get that focus ability off. Getting some extra chip damage in there. Always good to have. This is going to be really close. It looks like Maliv is going to be able to take out character 6, much to the dismay of Alphen. If character 6 was able to get off that off their system overload, this might be a different situation, but it looks like Maliv will just be able to chip them down as of right now. And they do, getting the most damage out of that as possible with Piercing Wit, attacking the front character. That 5 damage was definitely enough, just exactly enough to take them out. So Alphen playing from behind here, not really able to get a big Fire Lance out from this, unfortunately. So they've got to figure out what they want to do here. They are going to use a Fire Lance. It does a decent amount of damage here, but not quite enough to take out Character 7. So Character 7 will be able to get off another attack before Character 7 is taken out. So yeah, from this matchup, this showing right here, it's definitely possible to take out Character 7. With this more like ranged focused matchup, but you know, there's a sense this character's so early in the game, people might not be as used to playing against them, so I'm sure this, depending on like certain strategies, certain situations, this battle could have gone either way. But That being said, it does look like Malieve does have the upper hand right now. But hey, stranger things have happened, so. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to be a very close one. Trying to break that defense as much as possible. You know, Malieve does take a little bit of chip damage due to that, though, but they're going to adopt a similar stance. Alphen having that focus ability. They have no choice, probably, but to try to do a Fire Lance, try to get them down as much as possible, but it looks like it's going to be a relatively tough situation here to come back from. Taking that little extra damage, they are down to 3 health. It looks like odds are they're going to take some fatal damage here from the Engineer. Close match, though. Down to 12 health. Another couple of rounds. Might have been different. Excellent match, though. Really, really close. Really interesting setups on both sides. All right. Whew, losing my voice a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Probably drink a little bit more water on stream. All right, what have we got going on here? It is currently raining out. It's supposed to be thunderstorming, so at some point we'll see what happens. So if my internet goes out, if the stream stops, you'll know what happened. Jason will have to take over. I don't expect that to happen. This new apartment has a lot better track record of keeping the internet up during lightning strikes. So if this were a couple of years ago when I was still in Florida, that might be a different situation. But for now, we're good. Definitely good. All right. See what's going on. I think there is a battle right now between Exordium and Warx, but that's been going on for a few minutes now. I think we'll just catch up on their second round. Malieve and Alphen are starting their second round, but we just watched them. So I want to switch over to the other one pretty soon, you know? You can see some more players. The dice on my desk are so distracting right now. It's like impossible not to touch them and just like pick them up and mess around with them during the stream. My bad. But we should roll more dice during the stream. Any excuse. I did rescue that other die that I had thrown halfway across the room by accident. So, also didn't help that it was like a translucent yellow, so I could like barely see that. But we got there. Ooh. Yeah, D4s are the worst to step on. They're absolutely the worst. Yeah, especially this like this metal dice set that I got. I'll have to find the D4. It is like the sharpest thing. I like when I play D&D at a friend's place, like I like self-banned myself from rolling that on their table because I knew it was just gonna like, I knew it was just gonna destroy it. There was no, there's no question about that die. Like it was just so spiky. I'm gonna have to actually pour the rest out of this bag because I can't find the D4. And now there it is. Ready? This thing. This let's see if I can hold it up to the light or something. Ooh, it's not really working, but it is absolutely ridiculous. Actually, this one's not as sharp as the other ones. There's one here. The D8. Now the D8 is the caltrop. Like no, seriously, the D8 is a literal caltrop because it is a spiked ball. Like literally that's what this is. Like I would thought the D4 was gonna literally be like that, but it actually has, the D4 actually has rounded edges. Yeah, I know. It's not my fault. My partner got these for V. Actually like I was kind of afraid of these like marking people's tables. Yeah, yeah, caltrops are actually, I had no idea how big real caltrops were. Like I knew about caltrops because of Magic the Gathering actually, way back in whatever expansion that was. Whatever set that was, caltrops is very old. So I actually knew what that was, but yeah, caltrops are probably like more like fist size, I'm assuming. So yeah, Jason, perfectly legal for my like tiny pebble-sized caltrops. Oh man. But yeah, I actually was concerned about that hitting the table. I had I was playing like a wizard or something like that. I think it was a wizard. Yeah, I was playing a wizard, and so I decided to get a little bit cheeky and bring props to some of my games, and actually got like this like, I got from a thrift store, I got this like old like physics textbook, which was really thick, and I hollowed out like the inside of the book, which so it's like hollow on the inside, but you can't like see it because I like glued all of the pages together on the from the outside. So I hollowed it out, and so I could open up the book and have like a surface to like roll die onto, uh, which was pretty amusing. It worked relatively well. It took forever to cut those pages though, to hollow it out. But hey, it's fun. I'll have to grab it at some point. It took me way too much time to do, because I actually like pasted in like fake back pages of like about certain monsters, because we were doing what campaign was it? It was some campaign with giants and stuff like that. So it was supposed to, like the book that I had was supposed to be like a book about giants. So I had like stuff from the monster manual printed out, and I had like pictures of giants and stuff like that. And I put them in the back. So it was like a real page. I'll have to grab it at some point. Not now. It's somewhere over on the bookshelf. But Jason's got some weapons of his own. Oh man, so it looks like Exordium and Warwicks are gonna start round 2. It looks like Warwicks did take the first round against Exordium. But both are very skilled players, so you know, Exordium could definitely make a comeback here. I'm gonna wait for them to get into their actual game, and then we'll see what's up. Actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna see if I can find that book. Where the book is? The D hollowed out. The fake leather. It's down on the bottom, I think. I'm getting some assistance because I don't want to get up and like smack the green screen that's behind me. Oh, it looks like Exordium and Warwicks are beginning, so I'm gonna hop on over to their battle first, and then after that you can see my really nerdy book that I made. Which actually I have the book on my lap right now, and it seems like the glue has sealed it. Oh, nope, I can still open it, and it is full of flashcards for all my spells. Really cool. We'll find that in a second. Anyway, let's go over that batch. All right. Over on Exordium's side, we have the Berserker, the Ranger, and the Engineer. On Warwick's side, we have the Warrior, Character 7, and the Ranger. So, two pretty dominant strategies that we've seen in this tournament so far. So it's interesting to see how they will go head-to-head here. Exordium using a very early delay turn there. Really looking to try to get their characters set up in a particular order here. All right. See another delay turn here. It looks like Exordium is trying to make the most out of the trap they're going to set here. Really getting some bonus damage out of their stance. So we'll see how much damage they can actually do here. Hooking the Ranger in there, getting some support damage off. Getting them down to 9 health. Pretty good. Not bad. Really good. That's actually very good. So it looks like unless Warwick's can do some tricky stuff relatively soon, it's going to be a 2v3 situation for Warwick's, but it looks like Warwick's does have Character 7 and the Warrior coming up in this turn order before the Berserker can go. So it looks like they are going to have to switch up their positioning in order to protect that Ranger as much as possible. Well, let's see what they do. They might just leave the Ranger to themselves to really just keep on solidifying the interaction between Character 7 and the Warrior, with the Warrior Sentinel stance and Character 7's more defensive sweeping guard. Using Piercing Wit to take advantage of the Engineer being behind the Berserker, getting a little bit of chip damage back in their face, though, from that Engineer. All right, so it does look like they're going to switch up that positioning. Getting that Ranger into position to be protected from melee attacks. It looks like Exordium's Berserker is probably not going to be able to do much right now. They're kind of in a tough situation due to the Warrior Sentinel stance. Being that far down in their health, it looks like they're probably going to be able to get one more attack off. But it looks like they're going to delay their turn in order to find a better opening. Warwick's with the Ranger in a little bit in a tough spot, but they're still going to be able to survive a couple more rounds probably in order to get some damage in. Having a long think there about who they want to target. Looks like they are going to switch over to that Ranger to do some quick damage with a quick shot. So it looks like Warwick's is going to try to take out that Berserker another way. All right, Exordium doing just enough damage against Warwick's Ranger there to take them out. So we are in that 2v3 situation. Let's see how Exordium, in the meantime at least, tries to take advantage of this situation here. Like we are going to see some arm hooks to pull them out of that defensive stance. Or excuse me, the defensive stance is fine. It's mostly the Sentinel stance that is going to give Exordium some trouble. So that basically opens up the way for the Berserker in order to get off at least one melee attack there against character 7. So let's see what Exordium does here. Just getting an unrelenting strike in there. So they are of the opinion that the Berserker will be able to survive a couple more rounds in order to take advantage of the damage bonus from being able to strike twice in a row. Which is not a bad strategy, considering that on Warwick's side, it's all melee attacks. So eventually they're going to have to try to commit to take out that Berserker, at least until they can take out Exordium's Engineer, because that Engineer is doing a lot, is helping Exordium actually use that Berserker in an offensive manner, because otherwise they would have just they would have some trouble due to the Warrior Sentinel stance. Warwick's really trying to figure out who they want to target here. They're getting down to the last second. They're actually going to focus up here in order to, well, we'll see what they do. They could do this offensively. They could do this defensively. We'll see how they utilize this strategy soon. Odds are they will be able to get off a combo here at some point due to their pretty high health. Warwick's being able to finish off that Berserker probably sooner than Exordium was expecting. So we're in a 2v2 situation. Neither party is very far behind the other. So let's see who, which one of these combos, is going to be more effective in this situation. So it looks like we could see an interesting trap combo from Exordium. We could see something else. It looks like, yeah, so it looks like we are going to go for a trap here. However, not going after the more offensive stance there, going for an evasive. So it looks like Exordium is going to pull Warwick's character 7 into that trap, doing some decent damage, not a heck of a lot, but enough in order to get them into a little bit more susceptible range to other attacks. So let's see what they do with this focus here. They could use this offensively, they could use this defensively. Probably would be more apt to use it defensively in this situation, just purely because of the Engineer using their levitate stance and the Ranger using their evasive makes neither of the targets particularly good as of right now. Coming in just for a really quick piercing wit, just trying to basically bide some time until they are in a better position to fight. Exordium getting off a really nice dodge on their Ranger there, so that really helps out in the meantime. All right, so we see Warwick's warrior moving into that front row, not switching off of that sentinel stance, though. Instead opting to defend purely from a stats perspective. But it looks like Exordium is going to be able to get off a couple attacks here pretty quickly due to the Ranger's really high speed. So we've got the Engineer up right now. It looks like we're probably going to see an arm hook deals just enough damage, luckily enough, to knock out Warwick's character 7. So they're down to a relatively healthy warrior. They do have that last one standing bonus. They also have the attack bonus from their sentinel stance. So this next attack is going to do a lot of damage. let's see which character they target here. Probably the engineer will be a safer bet, since they don't have any, you know, any kind of dodge kind of situation. They do that. They take a decent amount of damage, getting a little bit chip damage back in there though. So Exordium's really gonna have to utilize the combos between that kind of the trap and arm hook situation between those characters to get out as much damage as possible against this warrior. So yeah, Warwick's in a little bit of a tough situation. So Warwick's actually does a little bit of good counterplay there because traps are not able to be placed on tiles that have bodies on them. So in this situation, that combo is not going to work as of right now. So Exordium's going to have to figure out what they want to do here, how they're going to play. It looks like they're just going to try to chip down as much as possible against Warwick's, against Warwick's warrior. And depending on the stances that Exordium chooses, Warwick's might have a little bit of a tough time doing this. I mean, the warrior only needs to get off a couple of attacks here. A couple of them need to connect, but Exordium just has so many rounds with their characters before the warrior can go again that it looks like odds are Exordium's going to be able to swing this to their advantage here. All right, so Warwick's going back into that defensive stance, trying to weather the blows from Exordium, but is it going to be enough? Some more quick shots here. Getting some bonus damage there from that stance. Down to 13 health. It looks like Exordium's going to probably be able to pull this one away here. All right, reapplying that broken defense there with a defense break. One more round from Warwick's. Let's see if he can take out somebody here. Basically, one more quick shot is it. So, a valiant effort, but ultimately not quite enough in this situation. And that's going to be it. Exordium takes away that win. Some really close matches here today. You know, a lot of players right now actually have 2 wins apiece, so not a clear victor yet. So definitely this tournament, it's up to, you know, it could be anybody. Really, it's going to be a very close call. It looks like that's going to go to a third round between Exordium and Warwick's. So it looks like if Warwick's takes this fight, they will be undefeated in this tournament up until their last battle. As of right now, I believe each player is going to do either 4 or 5 rounds. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's 4. So as of right now, there's no player that has a considerable lead over others. So we're gonna be playing this to its conclusion here. And it looks like I think we're gonna get Maliv on the stream real quick. So bear with me while I set this up. We had them on, I don't know if it was last tournament, probably the tournament before, but... Hello.
Hello.
Hey, so we've got Maliv on the line here. Just kind of waiting until we get into another match right now. How's it going?
It's going all right. It's going all right. Uh,
Yeah.
are we
Some
watching the Exordium Works one?
yeah, I'm gonna fire that up pretty soon.
Yeah, they're underway like right now. It looks like
Oh,
they're
okay.
all set.
All right, we will get there then. I'm actually going to I've had a little bit of not trouble with my client, but there's been a little bit of stuttering, so I'm actually gonna reload that up real quick, and then we'll get into the match as soon as I possibly can.
Sounds good. Things are
Some
currently looking really close. Not in this match, but overall brackets. Like
oh
we've
yeah,
seen a lot. Like everybody's pretty close. Even if Exordium takes this, I think like 4 people are tied.
yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy actually. Like I wasn't expecting, like there's some tough competition this time round. Looks like everyone's really doing as much as they possibly can in order to get a leg up. So it's been really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I am loading this match up right now.
Oh!
Here we go.
Oh, that was so close.
I
That's
am
good.
catching up now, so we'll
You,
see what happens.
that was a really good play that we just. You're gonna see it in just a few moments.
Hopefully my
And
stream can handle this.
Gunner.
All
Spoiler
right,
alert.
here we go. I'm not gonna say anything until I see this combo, so.
But yeah, that
Looks
was
like they just started.
Yeah, it was a really strong start. You'll see it.
All right.
But yeah, Salt's been doing some pretty cool things. It's been really fun to see them in the bracket, and I'm seeing a lot of other flavor and variety too. Berserker's been making rounds.
Yeah.
The healer's been doing some good work. Engineer's been both really good and really bad. It depends on the place. There's certain places where he just no do, but there's
Yeah.
other places where he do good.
Yeah, it's there's some very like circumstantial characters that you can choose. They're very good and very like when supporting like additional characters or against certain matchups. But sometimes it's just can be a little bit unfortunate. So oh man, so Exordium up to an early 3-2 lead here. So we'll see if that combo between character 7 and the warrior is going to make up for that early blow. It's a little bit rough, but we'll see what happens.
That trap chain was so hefty, and Exordium also planning things out really well. Got the hook, ended up missing the second shot, but because the ranger was on the back row, it meant it was more likely for the warrior to hit. So they delayed that turn, set it up, and made sure that it was more likely in their favor. And
yeah, we're seeing a ton of interesting uses of delay turn here in this tournament. I'm always really impressed with how certain players use delay turn to their advantage, really getting some extra hits in there, getting very opportune situations with like positioning, all that kind of stuff. Like all this stuff adds up, and you know we've seen a bunch of times in this tournament today where some characters have been down to 1 health, 2 health, 3 health, and like a simple positioning change could have changed that. You know, it could have been a knockout shot, but you know, that's all hindsight. It's really difficult in in battle where you know you can really get that opportune spot. And Works is gonna do an early concede here. Exordium really just taking that away. They got that really early knockout, and that counts for a lot. So
yeah, it made a huge impact, and we're gonna see that come and go a lot more quickly than anticipated.
yeah.
I do believe that means my next match is going to be coming up, so
All right.
I'll hop out.
Alrighty then. Good chatting with you. We'll see if we can get you on again at some point. But yeah, awesome. I'll talk to you later.
Ciao.
All right, so let me get in here. Exordium did take that, so we've got a bunch of players here today who are up to 2 wins as of right now, 2 out of 3. So a bunch of these players could potentially, anyone could take it at this point. So we've got one more round essentially. So we'll see if some players can, whoever wins this next one, they're in a very good situation. All right. So it looks like Believe is going to have a match up against the very recently triumphant Exordium. And so we'll join them pretty soon. It looks like they're going to start their match. So I am going to launch this battle. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll load up the match, but I'm just going to get a quick drink of water, and then I'll be back. So in a couple of minutes, you shall see me again. Gotta make sure everything is set up correctly here. Yeah, of course. Every time I leave, it's like an excellent game. Hey, I will say that every time I stay, it's an excellent game too, right? Right? Probably. All right, let's start this game off. I will see you guys in a few. as always. Exciting match when I'm not here. As always. Ooh. And it looks like while I wasn't here, Alimento did pick up a 3rd win. So congrats. So we have a couple of matches left right here. We have a match between Lonsys and Warks, and then we have a match between, as always, as we just saw, Malieve and Exordium. So we're gonna hop over to the match between Lonsys and Warks real quick. It's been going on for a few minutes now, but you know, we can always pop in. Actually, you know what? It's been long enough that I think I'm just gonna catch them on their 2nd round. So yeah. That's what we're gonna do. How's everybody doing? We're going a little bit long today. We had a little bit of a late start with the actual tournament. But hey, it happens. But it seems like we're about to start to wrap up some of these matches here. So odds are we're going to have a kind of a playoff type deal here with whoever wins between some of these matches. Looks like Warwick did win that 1st round against Lonsys, so we'll meet up with them for round 2 pretty soon, whenever they get started. So yeah, we are going a little bit long today just because like 6 is actually like a really awkward number for us. If we can get to like 8 people, we can actually just do like a double elimination or like a single elimination even. And that allows us to really, you know, go along at a pretty quick clip and also allow a lot of people to play games. So seriously, if you know people, bring them in, take them into the fold. Like, I would love to see us get to 8 players again. I can't remember if we've gotten to 8 before. I think we have. And those battles were really nice. They were really cool. It was a lot of fun getting up into that like championship round. So yeah, the more people that we have, the better. So seriously, if you had fun today, if you enjoy this game, if you're watching and you're just curious about playing, like seriously, like just drop us a line if you're curious about getting started or anything like that. Just let us know. But yeah, like seriously, at this point, word of mouth is our best friend. So so if you've got some people that you can wrangle in here, definitely, you know, you could talk to them, let them know that we've got a cool game here, or that you play a cool game. I like to think it's cool. Oh, did it clash with an event today, Alphen? I mean, it happens. It definitely does happen. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? All right, so I'm gonna hop into that battle that I was talking about, the one between Lonsys and Warks, that round 2. So let's get in there. Let's figure this out. Let's see who is going to. Let's see. I believe Wargs won that last battle, so let's see if Alphen can come back here, or Launcis rather. If Launcis can come back and get a win. All right. So an interesting twist of fate here. Normally you would see a totem in this battle, but neither side has decided to go with that character. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I'm very surprised not to see totem at all, but it just goes to show that there are definitely different setups that are viable, even in a very closed kind of battlefield like this one here. Warg's getting some really quick shots off on that Berserker. It looks like they're potentially going to be doing a lot of damage there. That Ranger was able to dodge that secondary damage. So a lucky one from Launcis there. Not quite enough to knock out that Berserker, so the Berserker is going to have the opportunity to, let's see, perhaps attack that Ranger without any trouble. They would have a problem attacking Character 7 or the Warrior because of that Sentinel stance. That causes a lot of problems on occasion, and this is no exception. Actually, the Berserker, since Character 7 does have that defensive stance up, they are not going to be able to attack that Ranger. So Berserker's in a little bit of a pickle now. Every single time that the Berserker gets into this situation, it's always a little bit rough. Like if it gets focused down early, then it means that it cannot really take advantage of their high health value, and ignoring stuff like Sentinel stance and all that kind of thing. But hey, you get into those situations sometimes. And Works is definitely using a strategy that Works has definitely identified what characters they need to knock out first. So just looking at the chat right now, yeah, people have been getting really good at this game. I'm scared of potentially playing against any of you guys because I know I'm gonna get stomped. But that's really good that people are, people are really raising the bar in terms of strategy. So and if my eyes, I don't think my eyes deceive me. It looks like Warwick is going to pull out another win here very quickly. Seeing some delayed turn stuff, so we'll probably see a trap combo somewhere here. But unless Launcis can do some really interesting combos and stuff, it looks like Warwick is going to pull out a win here again. Yeah, in case you guys don't know, Believe does have her own tournament, I believe, that is on Monday, the 29th. So if you're interested in signing up for that, it is on Battlefy. I'm sure either Malieve or Jason or someone, anybody, Paul, I'm sure any of you guys could probably drop that link in there. So feel free to do so if you're interested in signing up for kind of outside tournament, I guess you would call it. Yeah, so that's Malieve's channel, as well as the Battlefy link to the Scrapstar tournament there. That tournament does have different rules to it than ours, particularly about your team, essentially. So if you're curious about that fight, if you're curious about that tournament, definitely check those out, because it's really interesting. It might be something that eventually that we would be integrating into our tournaments, but for now, we just have very simple choose the characters that you want. But Believe's format does kind of tailor to interesting counterpicking and counterplay, so that's really cool. All right, so it looks like I'm going to double check right here, but But that was another win there by Warwicks. So hopefully we will see this thing right here update pretty soon. A nice little bracket. Woo! Okay, so it looks like we've got 3 players there with 3 wins. So we'll see. Officially, according to our bot, 3 players share first place. So we'll see how we're going to handle this between 3 people. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to be handled, but I'm sure we will find an equitable way to to figure this one out, because we've never had 3 players with tied kind of records at the end of one of these. So it's all good, Lances. It happens. People are getting really good. People are getting pretty good. Yeah, if anybody has any ideas for having a playoff between 3 players, let me know. Or let Jason know in the tournament chat. Because off the top of my head, I'm not sure. But seriously, well played, everybody. There were some really cool matches. Really happy to see the new character being used, and used effectively too. It's been really cool. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Alphen. That was awesome. And I mean by stopping by, you're here for a really long time. Thanks for taking the time to do so. It's always good to see you around in these tournaments. There's still some deliberation here about how we want to do this playoff, so. Yeah, the only problem with another mini round robin is that it could still draw, so. I'm personally fine with everybody getting first place. That is fine by me. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna do if everybody gets first. Everybody's happy. Everybody's a winner. Again, if you saw anything interesting today that didn't kind of like work the way you thought it would work, we're going to be sending out a survey. Let us know exactly what happened, if you can. If you know which match it happened in, actually, we can actually look back at a replay and see exactly what happened and all that kind of stuff. So it really helps us to like verify like what things were going on and all that good stuff. So if you know exactly when it happened, that's cool. Like just like the match, basically. If you don't, that's cool too. We could usually figure it out. But yeah, just let us know. Also, let us know about the good stuff too. It's always good to hear about the good stuff. Yeah. This was an awesome tournament. This was really cool. Y'all did really, really well. So I am happy with this. I'm happy with this tournament. I just want to get an official kind of official ruling from Jason here. I think we're just going to split first place here, so. All right, cool. Split prize for first. That's awesome. Congrats to everybody. some really like just the way that this turned out. Really high parity in this tournament. Like everybody is really, really talented. So yeah, awesome. Well, seriously, thanks everybody for showing up here today. It was a lot of fun. Always love doing these streams. And yeah, if you watched and you're interested in participating, we gotta hit that 8 participant level. So that's a lot of fun when we're able to do that. And if you're if you're interested about the game, we have lots of ways to get into touch with us. Down here we have our Twitter account, at Stray Basilisk. Down here we've got our URL for our Discord. If you join the Discord, a bot will message you with a login, and you can download the game and play immediately. We're actually on Steam as well. So if you want to go on and wishlist us, that would be awesome. That helps us immensely, like seriously. So download the game, play it, go on to Steam, wishlist us, do all that good stuff. Tell us what you like about the game, all that good stuff. We'd like to be really welcoming in our Discord. So seriously, usually one of the developers are on at any time. Usually pop in and out. So yeah, feel free to leave us a message. Feedback suggestion channel here. That's usually where you can leave kind of stuff like that. Otherwise, just get into contact. Come talk to us. We're just people. We're indie developers. And also sign up for the Leaves tournament. Do it. I believe in you. I believe you can win this one. So yeah, Monday, 2 days. So if you want to try to have a comeback, if you didn't do well today, one way to get another trophy. Oh yeah, we a couple of us are playing in that tournament as well. So if you want a chance to compete against the devs, this is your chance. So all right, guys, it was a lot of fun. I gotta get going, but yeah, see you guys next time. Had a lot of fun. So later.